Okay, so there are two things that have been very intriguing for me recently.
There are one or two things that I should very much like for you to see.
As a mobile application developer that has developed a couple of apps over the years now, two things stood out which felt like a pattern. Most social applications, have to do with interaction of people. I think most applications actually they make use of this feature which is infinite pagination. Now, if you don't know what infinite pagination is a UI strategy or UI pattern whereby the application pulls in a set of information at first load. So then as you scroll, when you hit the particular page extent, it is prompted to pull in more information. So think of it like your typical Twitter feed, your Instagram feed, and the other applications. So that's how infinite pagination and infinite scrolling works. It's that simple. So I wanted to find out why. Why do these mobile applications adopt this strategy? And I did some digging, and you'll be shocked at what I found. Okay, first off, lazy loading. Lazy loading is a web design technique that makes a page load faster by only downloading content when it is needed. Imagine a buffet table. Lazy loading is like a server who only brings out the next dish as you approach it, so you don't have to wait for the entire table to be set up. In the early 2000s, developers were doing just that, trying to cram everything onto a single page.
Load up.
To avoid a slow, heavy load, they began creating custom JavaScript solutions to hold back images. So you would be wondering, why should I make use of the concept deferred loading? Well, study shows that deferring loading of images on a web page until they are needed for viewing can make the initial display of the web page faster, significantly faster. The opposite of lazy loading is eager loading, and we'll be talking about that another time. So, on to infinite pagination. Now, this is the interesting part. The story of infinite pagination starts with a young designer named Azar Raskin, who grew up steeped in his father's philosophy of humane interfaces. As a designer, Azar felt that every time he asked the user to make a decision they didn't care about, he had failed. He was frustrated by the tedious process of clicking the next page on search engines and blogs. His elegant solution, devised in 2006, was Infinite Scroll, a continuous feed that would load new content automatically. It was intended to be a genuinely better interface. But a tragic thing happened. As the attention economy emerged, as we all know it, with its perverse incentives, Azar's invention was co-opted and weaponized. He was completely blind to how his creation would be used to deliberately keep users online for as long as possible. Honestly, Raskin now deeply regrets his invention, stating that it was sucked by a machine and it has affected hundreds and thousands of human lifetimes, which is per day, obviously. He explains that the infinite feed works by removing the stopping cues our brain needs to decide when to stop an activity. That's when users see the next button at the end of a page. The brain feels the need to either stop or keep going, which is better than the infinite pagination. Now, this concept tapped into the same psychological mechanism as gambling, which is not very good, honestly. I appreciate you listening to this. See you in the next one.